Let me see if anybody comes in tonight. Hello, 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 Facebook. I always get this message saying slow connection. I don't know if it's slow connection because of my tablet or if it's my internet connection for real. I don't know. But good evening, everyone. I just want to get on here. It's been a while since I've done a live. It's been a while since I've been able to get on here and share my thoughts. I have been under the weather. Unfortunately, I got sick last week after the Super Bowl. I had a wonderful time on Super Bowl Sunday. Got a chance to spend some time with my family. I really enjoyed that and had a ball. But a few days later, and this has nothing to do with my family. I think it's because I had been going outside my house without a jacket or a coat on, and I messed around and got sick. So I'm just confessing and telling the truth and shaming the devil. I messed around and got sick because I hadn't been bundling up and wrapping up. As cold-natured as I am, as much as I complain about being cold sometimes, I had the nerve, even just going outside to get the mail, even though it was a short walk, I still probably should have had something on to um, keep myself warm. And I didn't. So after doing that a few times, it caught up to me, and I ended up being without a voice, having all the stuff that you get with a cold, and not feeling well, and just started back feeling myself probably over the weekend, probably I say Sunday or Monday. Um, today is today is Thursday. Sunday or Monday, I started feeling a little bit better. Um, I still didn't have my appetite back, and so I wasn't feeling 100%. But I was feeling a little bit better. I was sleeping a little bit better because when I was first experiencing my symptoms, I wasn't sleeping well, and so that made it a little harder for me to recover. So probably yesterday was the first day that I felt more myself. So I was telling one of my friends that if I had to do it on say something on a scale of percentage wise, I'm not 100%, but I'm probably at about 75 to 80% feeling better, and just excited to have my voice back, because anybody that knows me knows that I hate not being able to talk. So so I'm feeling better and I'm back. But I just wanted to get on here and share some of my random thoughts like I do from time to time. I have entered into a new challenge in for my business. It's called 40 Days and 40 Nights. And what that is me working intensely to share information about my business and my company for the next 40 days and 40 nights. That intense focus and putting in that extra effort. So most people know that I work hard, and I'm always talking about my business anyway. So that's not a problem for me or a challenge that I can't rise to meet, because I'm always talking about my business. I'm always posting about it. I'm always sharing information about it. And because it's been such a blessing to me, I'm always excited to share. So one of the things I want to talk about tonight, and I probably mentioned it one of my previous lives, uh, how people miss out on good things because of misunderstandings, or um, not having the information they need to make informed decisions, or having a perception of something because of the package it comes in, and missing out on something that's really good and really a blessing. So first off, let me tell you that I really am an independent travel agent, and I do have the flexibility to work from home. Um, what what excites me is I've always enjoyed travel. I've always enjoyed planning things, and I do it naturally. I've done it for my family. I've done it for myself, and so that is something that I enjoy. I enjoy planning trips. I enjoy looking at different places to go, and that sort of thing. So I had someone who, I don't think they understood what it was that I did, and so they said they didn't want to get caught up in anything scammy. And so that to me told me a couple of things. One, they don't know me because I don't do scams. I don't. Before I get involved in anything, I always do my due diligence and investigate it and check it out. I do my research. I'm that person that even after I hear information, I process it and I ask questions. I've been that way since I was a kid. One of my middle school teachers used to say at the end of every lesson, does anyone have questions? And my hand would go up automatically. And some of my classmates who are Facebook friends with me, they might remember that about me when we were in class together. Whenever Mr. G would say, are there any questions? Does anyone have any questions? Tracy's hand would go up because Tracy always had questions. I wanted to clarify that I understood. I wanted to make sure that I was doing the right thing because I don't like wasting my time. So I wanted to make sure that I was doing the right assignment, the right problems, and so on and so forth. So I always clarify and get that information to make sure that I understand. Not to say that I don't, make mistakes sometimes, but I do my best to avoid mistakes when I can. You can learn from mistakes, but I'd rather do things the right way the first time if possible. So anyway, so one of the things I wanted to share about what I do. Years ago, most travel agents were in a brick and mortar building, and if you wanted to plan a trip with a travel agent, you had to go to their office and sit down at a desk with them, and they would ask you some questions, where you want to go, and sort of interview and do all that kind of stuff. And so that was then. This is now. In the age of technology, I can do the exact same thing from my home, over the telephone, over a Zoom call, and work with whoever I want to work with. I'm in Wisconsin. I can work with people who are in Wisconsin, who are in Illinois, Hawaii, any place where I know someone. I can work with them. I can plan a trip for them. I can help them get started. They can partner with me, and I can help them get started having their own travel agency. So there are no boundaries that way with the business that I'm in. And so it's not a scam. It's a legitimate business. I have a travel agent number. I have all of that stuff. So I am legitimate. And I just booked one trip. I'm planning another one that I hope to have finished within a few days. And so it's not a scam. What it is a way for me to supplement my retirement income supplement my retirement income without having to go to someone else's job after I've left working as an educator for over 25 years. And let me say this, education for me was a second career. So I don't know how old I look to you all, but I'm not, when I retired from teaching, teaching was a second career for me. So it wasn't something that, wasn't the only thing that I had done. And so after having worked for other people most of my adult life, and I've been working since I was legally able to work, like 15 years old, I didn't want to, not that I wanted to stop working, but I didn't want to have to work for someone else and be subject or bound to working their schedule. I have a family that I want to be able to spend more time with now. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to support my church and do things that I can do with them. I want to be able to be available to help people that I care about when they need me. So there are so many reasons why going back to work in someone else's job was not something that I desired to do. And I've always enjoyed traveling, and so this was like a perfect marriage in terms of finding a way to have another source of income. So I wanted to just share with you what my business is, and some of you might see posts that I make, and sometimes my posts are very direct and very clear, and sometimes they're not so direct and so clear, because I'm posting things that I want to share with people, but I also want to provoke thought and engagement. I believe social media is supposed to be social. I believe that social media is supposed to be fun and entertaining and thought-provoking, sharing information. So that's what I believe the purpose of social media is to be social. So when I'm posting things, sometimes I'm posting things with a purpose of generating engagement, trying to get people to communicate with me, but also with each other. So that's one of the things that I wanted to share with you. So when I'm posting about trips, when I'm posting my thoughts about my business, when I'm sharing information, I want people to ask questions. I want people to know what I do. And some people are able, they figure it out, and some people don't. They don't know what I do. So I wanted to make sure that I clarify and explain that to people. So as an independent travel agent, I'm able to work from my home. I can help plan church retreats, girls trips, guys trips, honeymoons, destination weddings, family trips, solo trips. I'm able to do all of those things that a travel agent who might have another brick and mortar office building can do, but I can do it from the flexibility of working from home. If I decide that I don't want to be at home and work, and I want to go to a cafe somewhere and use their Wi-Fi and work there, I can do that. As a matter of fact, I did that some this year before winter came. I'm not complaining, but I'm not a fan of being out in the cold and the snow. So I have, on the days when it's been nice and warm and there wasn't any snow, I get out the house and I go to someplace else and work. But these last few days, I've worked from home. And even though I was sick with the flu, I still worked from home because I wanted to make sure that I took care of that trip for the family that's going to be traveling to Punta Cana soon, and then I have another one that I'm working on for Jamaica. And so I kept working, but the difference is I was able to work from my bedroom or work from my couch, wherever I felt comfortable. And you guys know when you have a cold or something like that, sometimes you're more comfortable in, sitting up in your bed with your laptop. sometimes, because you can wrap up in your blanket or whatever. And so I was able to do that and not miss a beat. And so I'm thankful and appreciative of that. One of the things that I've talked about before is how I, as a teacher, sometimes, living from paycheck to paycheck, you have to work two jobs. And I wasn't the only teacher that I know who worked more than one job, and had to find work during the summer, because when school is out, if you don't have, if you don't have it like that, you have to work summer school, or you have to get another job. A lot of teachers worked at Summerfest or State Fair, to meet those gaps from June to September when school would start back and they would get their regular paycheck again. And so I didn't want to have to do any of that in my retirement. And I'm thankful that I haven't had to so far. This business has allowed me the opportunity to do things that I enjoy doing and earn an income from doing them without having to take extra time away from my family. So if my family wants to travel during the summer, and I can, go with them, because if I have the money to go with them and I don't have any other obligations, I can do that and still have my business up and running and operating, because wherever I go, as long as I have access to Wi-Fi, my phone, a tablet, or a computer, I can run my business, and that's nice. The other thing is that I have available to me are different certifications for different partners. So, and this is information that we share a lot of times when we do our presentations, as people call them. Some people don't, they get turned off by the term presentation, but really it is a sharing of information. And so once you're in the business, you have the opportunity to get certified and be considered an expert, working with some of the top names in the travel business. I won't mention any of them now. If you get invited to a Zoom, or if you see that I've posted a flyer on my page that announces a Zoom where we are actually going through step by step our business information, you'll get to see some of that information there. And it's really something that kind of blew my mind when I came into the business. There's an almost, I don't want to say an infinite list, but there is a tremendous list of vendors. Almost any place you want to go, any place you want to stay, any cruise line that you're interested in, any resort that you're interested in, we have partnerships with them, and you can get certifications. I have one certification for sandals and beaches, and I'm working on another certification. I'm getting ready to start with a very child friendly vendor. And I'm excited about that, because one of the things I found out is not only do they have places for the little people, but the little girl in me is excited to find out that they have some place for adults too. And so I'm looking forward to learning more about that, and I'm very excited about that. So I just really wanted to get on here and share that with you guys and let you know. And I also want to encourage you. I'm not begging anybody, but I'm just being honest, and that's how I am. Without having to go into specific details, we all see what's happened in less than 30 days. And I want to encourage you, if you still have your regular 9 to 5, use part of your 9 to 5 to invest in a chance for you to have a backup plan. Everybody needs a backup plan. And we're now in an era that I never expected to see in my lifetime. Government jobs used to be jobs that everybody, once you got that, that was like security for you. Not anymore. There were some companies that if you got a job with them, you were considered to have a good job, and you held on to it from, until retirement. People aren't being allowed to retire from jobs anymore. If you're somebody who's been fortunate enough to be able to retire, that is a huge blessing. On my news feed daily, I'm getting stories coming across saying this company is closing, this company is relocating, this company is about to lay off 700 people, this company is laying off 1,000 people. And so you can go into a job in the morning and, find out at the end of the day that that was your last day. And, if you have a backup plan already in place, if you've already started building, and that's essentially what I did, was I joined my company to become a travel agent before I retired. I'm actually almost a year in. Actually, this month will be my 1-year anniversary. So I started with this company before I retired, because anytime you start a business, you're building that business until it becomes profitable. And I'm blessed to say that I'm at a point where it has started to pay off for me. The first couple of months were a little slow. I was learning things, even though I was not new completely to home-based businesses. This was a brand new, different industry for me, and I had to learn things to navigate in a new space, in a new industry. And so in the beginning, that's what I was doing. And now I'm in a rhythm. I'm still learning. I'm by no means have I learned everything. I'm still learning, but I am comfortable now. I know how the business works. I know where to get information. I know, how to get business. I know how to generate business. I know how to do all of those things. And I have a strong support system in my business. And so that's important as well. So I really just want to encourage you that if you are fortunate enough to, still have a 9 to 5, or even if you already have another business. And I want to say this too. I had another business, another home-based business, when I decided to come into this one. I didn't give up my other home-based business. I had been with that home-based business for 20 years. So I did not give up that other home-based business. I still have the other home-based business that I had before I started in this one. And what I have learned is that whatever product I use, if there's an opportunity for me to benefit from that product in more than one way, then that's what I'm going to do. But if you are someone who is relying just on 1 or 2 sources of income, my heart goes out to you, because there's a better way. And I just want to encourage people to think about it. I worked 2 jobs. I would leave church on Sunday afternoon, and instead of going to family dinner at my grandma's house, I was going to my second job. I was working 7 days a week. I was building someone else's dream for running their company and their business, and taking time away from my family. And they got to decide how much I made, missing out on a Sunday dinner with my family. It wasn't all about the meal. It was about the time away from them that I was missing. Being exhausted because I was working so many hours. I worked Monday through Friday from 7:30 in the morning, and being quite honest, as a teacher, I would get to school an hour, sometimes an hour and a half earlier than my students so that I could have time to get things set up for them for the day. And Monday through Thursday, I would be, from 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning to 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening, working at school, going home, sometimes, a lot of times, still doing stuff after I ate dinner. Then on Friday, it had to be a hard stop at 3:30 because I had to be at my second job by 4. And I did that for 2 years. Worked myself into bad health. Lost valuable time with my family, my church family. My pastor would say, why are you running out right after service? Because I had to be at that second job. So I missed time to fellowship with them. I missed time to fellowship with my family. Working 2 jobs because I needed to. I didn't have a choice at the time. And so now I have options, and I'm thankful for it. But the day that, and the day I quit, I'm gonna tell you this: the day I turned in my letter of resignation, was the day I realized. And people say life is short, and it is. We don't know how much time we have. But the realization came to me when Kobe Bryant and his daughter passed away in that plane crash. And someone came in. I was working reception that day, and someone came in and asked me if I heard what happened. I hadn't heard because I was at a front desk, not on the computer, not watching TV or anything. And once I found out, my heart was pricked. And that same night, I submitted my letter of resignation and gave my 2 weeks notice to that second job. And so it wasn't easy making it on just the one income that I had. I knew I needed another source of income. But what was easy was making the decision to make a change, because I was sick and tired. And when I say I was sick and tired, I really was sick and tired. I was diabetic. My working all those extra hours was hard on my body. Not being able to eat properly because I was going from one job to the second job was hard on my body. My health was going down. My mental health was really, really, really struggling because I was so tired. I was so exhausted. And I had to make a change. And I decided that this is it. I've had enough of this rat race kind of thing. And so when I heard about this opportunity, it was a no-brainer for me. I sat through the business presentation 2 times. The first time, I knew that this was the opportunity for me. The second time, I made the decision to go ahead and take that step, because the sooner I started, the sooner I could start building. And that's what I did. And I actually started before I retired. I'm so thankful that I did. I came in running. I put the time in. I put the effort in. I figured if I'm going to have to work long hours, I need to work them to build my own dream and to secure my own finances. And that's what I did. So after I would get off my first job, I would come home from school. I would get on my computer. I would take my little, and I don't want to say little like it's not important. I would take my training classes because I could do that at my own pace. So I would complete, 2 or 3 modules a night, a couple of nights a week. Then on the weekend, I could do a little more. And I did that, finished, one training course. Then I decided, okay, I want to get a certification in one of these resorts. Sandals and Beaches was available for training. I completed that in a couple of weeks. And actually, not even a couple of weeks. I actually think I finished that Sandals and Training in a week's time, doing it after I got off from my day job, my first job. And so I have been running ever since. And the support that I've received from the people that I'm in business with, I'm in business for myself, but I have business partners who are in the same business. Some of them have been in business far longer than I have. And they're always available to help me answer questions, to encourage and share information. Sometimes we have work sessions together, that sort of thing. So I'm really blessed to be in the space that I'm in now. And I'm thankful that I made the decision to get started when I did, because now I can say that my business is on the upswing and it is growing. Um, and so what I'm excited about, I really originally came on here to talk about the 40-40. So for 40 days and 40 nights, I'm going to be going hard and intense with sharing information about my company and about my business. And so this is day 2 of 40-40 for me and my business partners. And we're all excited. So some of us, Milwaukee is really small. So some of us, might know some of the same people. And that's okay. That's fine. But you're going to see a lot of us on here being excited about this because we found something that works for us and for our family. One of my business partners, I'm so excited for her. She's got Michelle. She's got her children, 3 children in college right now, just bought a new home, and her team is exploding. And I'm so happy for her, and I'm so proud of her. She's an encouragement. Her spirit is she's one of the sweetest people I know and have met since I've been in this business. And she's similar to me. We're both kind of quiet, but she is very much a good leader, a good coach, a good mentor, and a good partner. So she helps me, she encourages me, and I'm thankful for that. And so when I say that I have a strong support system in this business, it's not like any other that I've had before. So I just want to say that, and I don't know how long I've been on here, but I'm going to shut it down for the night because I have my early morning tomorrow. And it's really funny. I'm going to say this, then I'm going to let you go. It's really funny. I was never a morning person. When I told you I would get up and go to school an hour and a half early, that was a challenge for me because I was not naturally a morning person. But since I have retired from teaching in the classroom, I am a morning person. I am up probably as early as I was when I was working in the school system. But the difference is that I control my own environment. I control what I'm doing at particular times, and I create my own schedule, and I love it. And so I just want to share that with you. God bless you. If you are looking for additional income, another source of income that allows you flexibility in where you work, when you work, and creating your own schedule, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to share. I would love to sponsor you and to help you get started and get you on the steps to having more financial flexibility. And we say flexibility because once you start making money, it may not be enough to replace your regular 9-to-5 job in the beginning, but it can be enough to take a bill off your table, a cell phone bill, a gas bill, gas money, help with groceries. All of these changes that we're experiencing in our country right now, everybody's going to need some extra income to help support and navigate these days ahead and these years ahead. And so I strongly believe, with as much conviction as I can say, that I have found a way, and I'm willing to share it. I'm willing to help you get started. What I love about this business is that everybody travels. Everyone does not use makeup. Everyone does not use the same skincare products. Everyone is not into the same health supplements. But everyone travels. Whether you're traveling for business, pleasure, necessity, because you got to go somewhere and take care of a family member, or family reunions, or any of that kind of stuff. Everyone travels. So our product is, to me, an amazing product, but it's a necessary product. So, all right. So I want to wish everyone a good night. Happy Friday Eve. Tomorrow is the last, well, I won't say last day of the week, but most people look forward to Friday. So I want to wish everyone a wonderful start to their weekend tomorrow. And if I'm available tomorrow, I will probably pop on here again. But if not, you guys have a great evening. And I just want to tell you thank you for watching. Peace.